Okay, Suji-so. In this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. What kinds of things do people in your country typically celebrate?
In my country, people typically celebrate a wide range of things. Of course, there are the major national holidays and religious festivals, which are widely observed by almost everyone. Beyond those, people also celebrate personal milestones, such as birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, and weddings. Achievements like getting a new job or buying a new home might also be cause for a smaller, more personal celebration with close family or friends.
How important are celebrations in people's lives, in your opinion?
I believe celebrations are very important in people's lives. They provide valuable opportunities to take a break from the routines and stresses of daily life. They allow us to mark significant moments, both happy and sometimes reflective. Celebrations also play a crucial role in strengthening bonds, whether it's with family, friends, or the wider community. They create shared memories and often bring a lot of joy and happiness, which is essential for overall well-being.
Do you prefer big celebrations or small, intimate ones? Why?
Personally, I tend to prefer small, intimate celebrations for the most part. While big celebrations can be exciting and full of energy, I find that smaller gatherings allow for more meaningful interaction and deeper conversations with the people I'm with. I feel more relaxed in a smaller setting, and it feels more personal. However, there are certainly occasions, like perhaps a major wedding or a national festival, where a big celebration is very appropriate and enjoyable too. So it depends a bit on the context, but my general preference leans towards smaller, more personal gatherings. What is the most recent thing you celebrated? The most recent thing I celebrated was actually my friend's engagement. A close friend of mine got engaged a couple of weeks ago, and a small group of us got together to celebrate with her and her fiancé. We went out for a nice dinner, shared stories, and toasted to their future happiness. It was a very joyful and heartwarming occasion.
Do you think people spend too much money on celebrations nowadays?
That's an interesting point. In some cases, yes, I do think there's a tendency for people to spend quite a lot of money on celebrations, perhaps sometimes more than is necessary. There can be a certain social pressure, especially with things like weddings or big birthday parties, to have something very elaborate or Instagram-worthy. While it's nice to make an occasion special, I believe the true value of a celebration lies in the shared experience and the connection with loved ones, rather than the amount of money spent. Sometimes, simpler celebrations can be just as meaningful, if not more so.
Part 2. Individual long turn. All right, now I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Yes, I understand perfectly. Here's your card, and here's some paper and a pencil. All right? Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay, so a celebration that I particularly enjoyed and that stands out in my memory was my university graduation ceremony and the celebrations that followed. This was a few years ago now, but it was a very significant and joyful occasion for me. We were celebrating, obviously, the completion of our university degrees. It marked the end of several years of hard work, study, and dedication. So it was a celebration of achievement and also the beginning of a new chapter in our lives. The main ceremony, the official graduation itself, took place at the university's main hall. It was a very grand and formal event, with all the graduates in caps and gowns and our families watching. After the ceremony, the more personal celebration continued with my family, my parents and my brother, and also a group of my closest university friends, the ones I had studied with and shared so much with over the years. We went to a nice restaurant near the university for a celebratory meal. I particularly enjoyed the celebration for several key reasons. Firstly, there was an immense sense of accomplishment and relief. Graduating felt like a huge milestone, and it was wonderful to share that feeling with everyone who had supported me. Secondly, it was so special to have both my family and my close friends there together. My family was so proud, and my friends and I were all sharing this exciting moment, looking forward to our futures. There was a real buzz of excitement and optimism. And finally, it just felt like a very genuine and heartfelt celebration. The speeches at the ceremony were inspiring, and the dinner afterwards was filled with laughter, reminiscing about our university days and talking about our plans. It wasn't just a party, it was a meaningful acknowledgement of a significant achievement shared with the people who mattered most. It was a truly happy and memorable day.
Thank you. It sounds like a very proud moment. Thank you. It certainly was. We've been talking about a celebration you particularly enjoyed. Now I'd like to ask you some more general questions related to celebrations. Why do you think it is important for people to celebrate events? I believe it's very important for people to celebrate events for a number of reasons. Firstly, celebrations provide a structure to our lives, marking the passage of time and acknowledging significant milestones, both personal and collective. This can give us a sense of rhythm and meaning. Secondly, they offer a valuable opportunity to connect with others, to strengthen social bonds with family, friends, and the wider community. These shared experiences create positive memories and foster a sense of belonging. Celebrations also allow us to express joy, gratitude, or remembrance, which are important human emotions. And on a more practical level, they offer a much-needed break from routine, a chance to relax, have fun, and recharge, which is crucial for our overall mental and emotional well-being. In what ways do you think celebrations can bring families closer together? Celebrations can bring families closer together in many wonderful ways. When families gather for a celebration, whether it's a birthday, a holiday, or an anniversary, it creates a dedicated time for them to interact and reconnect away from the distractions of daily life. They share meals, engage in activities together, and often reminisce about past memories, which strengthens their shared history and understanding of one another. These events often involve cooperation and teamwork, for example, in preparing food or organizing the event, which can foster a sense of unity. Celebrations also provide a platform for different generations within a family to mingle and learn from each other. Grandparents can share traditions with grandchildren, for instance. And simply the act of sharing joy and laughter together during a happy occasion creates powerful, positive emotional bonds that can last a lifetime. Are there any types of celebrations that you think are becoming less popular nowadays? Why might this be? That's an interesting thought. Perhaps some of the more formal or traditional community-based celebrations might be becoming less popular in some areas, or at least are changing in nature. For example, certain very old historical or agricultural festivals that were once central to a community's life might not hold the same relevance for younger, more urbanized generations. This could be because lifestyles have changed, people are busier, or perhaps there's less direct connection to those historical roots. Also, some very formal or elaborate religious celebrations might see declining participation if society becomes more secular or if younger people are less engaged with organized religion. It's not that celebrations themselves are becoming less popular, but the types of celebrations and how they are observed can certainly evolve with societal changes. How important is the food and drink aspect of most celebrations? Food and drink are often extremely important, I would say almost central to most celebrations across many cultures. Sharing a meal is a very fundamental way for people to connect, socialize, and show hospitality. Special foods and drinks are often prepared specifically for celebratory occasions, dishes that might not be eaten every day, which makes the event feel more special and distinct. These foods can carry cultural significance, representing traditions passed down through generations. The act of preparing and sharing food together can be a communal activity, fostering bonding. And of course, enjoying delicious food and drink simply adds to the overall pleasure and enjoyment of the celebration. It helps to create a festive and convivial atmosphere. Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test. Thank you.